Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Niles here, and today I want to show you how production and samples can make your song go from average to a serious octane banger in no time. Just like the likes of Bad Omens, Spiritbox, Dayseeker, and to demonstrate that, I'm going to take a song that I wrote, it's just a verse and chorus, and I'm going to add production in real time to show you how easy it is and to show you how much it can really enhance your song. Now, enough wasting time, let's get right into it. All right, guys, so we're in Logic. You can see that I have a verse section and a chorus section already written. It's just drums, bass, guitars, some cleans, and then I think the ambient stuff down here is actually just octaves that I wrote just to kind of fatten up this chorus a little bit. And then I left a section for an intro, just in case we decide to write one. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna play the second half of the verse into the first half of the chorus for you without production so you can hear how it sounds. Then we're gonna start adding stuff in so I can show you how we can enhance this. Cool, so that doesn't sound bad at all, honestly. It sounds pretty good, but to me, it feels kind of weak. Definitely feels like it could use some stuff to lift it up, to kind of fill up the mix a little bit more, make it sound fatter, make it sound more modern. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna bring up our sample packs. And I'll be using sample packs from Modern Music Solutions, which you can find available on their website. So we have the Cult Essentials pack, drops, which is just sub drops, but all different forms of them. We also have both the Metal Essentials post-productions, volume 1 and 2. And I think I'm gonna actually go into 2 because this is one that I've explored the least. So we're gonna explore it a little bit together. I kind of wanna add something in this intro to kind of build into that part. And you know, if we're going for like the serious octane, like Bad Omens-y, Dayseeker-y kind of vibe, a lot of times they start songs with like production, with like samples or stuff like that, just to kind of get the ball rolling, set a mood, set a tone. So let's do that. Let's go into loops, and then I'm at 100 BPM. So let's check out any of the ones that are close to that BPM. We can always time stretch and do whatever we got to do to make it fit. Let's check out this rock with the Ancients one. We'll just listen to the full loop and see if it's something we vibe with. It's not bad, but it's not quite the vibe that I have in my head for this. Let's check out Linkin Park. I'm a big Linkin Park fan, so I will most likely be sold. So I am really liking that, but I don't know if that's exactly the vibe that I want. So let's check out this other one that's also around 100, mine's Mirror. Okay. I kind of really like this one. It's similar to the Linkin Park one, but it just kind of has that like more modern synth kind of vibe. And if we're going for like Dayseeker, Bad Omens, I think this is the vibe right here. So I could just drag and drop the full loop in, nothing wrong with that. But I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to just take all of the different parts and I'm gonna just throw them in the DAW. We're gonna create new tracks. And then I'm gonna bring all of these guys up into my production folder. And I'm gonna send them all to my instrument bus really quick. Also gonna bring them all down to -12 just so we don't blow eardrums out. And then if you guys just give me one moment, I'm gonna time stretch these and then we will be off to the races. All right, so I just went ahead and I stretched everything to fit on the grid, to fit our song in the BPM. So let's go ahead and take a listen to what all of that sounds like, and we'll kind of have it go into the verse. How about that? Just so we can kind of get an idea. Cool. I think that's a pretty dope vibe. We just need to kind of level things out a little bit. I'm gonna copy this stuff and move it over into the verse because I honestly think it'll sound pretty cool in there. I kind of want to hear this like swell thing every other bar just to give this some additional motion. Oh, you know what? I think I'm missing a piece in here actually. Let's grab that, shall we? Yeah, I'm missing the synth. Now that that's in here, let's hear how that sounds. There we go. Yeah, so I'm gonna take the kick out of the verse just because I don't want it to clash with the kick pattern of the drums going on in there. And then I think I'm gonna bring the hi-hats up just a little bit as well. Now, some things that I'm hearing that we definitely need to add. I think we should throw in some sort of impact going into the verse. Maybe not anything like crazy since it's not the chorus. We don't need it to hit like super hard, but something just to signify the change. And then these piano swells are cool, but I think we need to add another like riser or like a whoosh kind of effect just to really give it some like push into the next part. So let's go back into our samples and let's see what we got in here. Let's jump around. Let's go to Cult Essentials. What do we have in here for risers? Okay, big whoosh. Okay, so I am gonna throw this in. I don't want that for the verse, but I know that I'm going to want that for the chorus. So we're gonna throw a big whoosh in there. Big whoosh is what they don't want you to know about. So what else we have in here? Honestly, I think that could be pretty cool going into the verse. Let's throw it in and see. Now we just need some sort of like kind of impact going into that. So let's go into Metal Essentials Production 1 impacts. Here we go. What's Gaudio? Nah. Something like that's kind of cool. Ooh, definitely not uh-oh. Okay, so we're gonna try this. I'm gonna bring this Tomb Rev impact in and we're gonna just put it down here. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reverse it and I'm essentially gonna try to make this into like a downswell, like what I'm looking for. Let's see how that sounds. Yeah, so that already sounds a lot better, gives it some more emphasis. I'm gonna just A/B it really quick. So here's with again. Cool, and here's without. I know it seems like subtle, but it really makes such a world's difference. Let's hear how the verse sounds with everything going on. All right, so let's move on to the production in the chorus. As I said before, I already know I'm gonna want a big fat impact going on because I want that chorus to slam. So we're gonna go back into the Cult Essentials pack right here and let's see what we got. I do like the blaster sub. Manifold's not bad. I'm gonna throw in the blaster sub. I like that it has the sub, so it's kind of a sub drop as well. Now, a fun thing that I like to do is I like to layer impacts. I like to layer whooshes, risers, just to create more unique like textures and moments. So I'm gonna find at least one other impact to kind of blend with that, to give it a little bit more going into that chorus. Let's check out the impacts in Production 2. I want to listen to other ones, but I'm just going to go ahead and throw this clap one in here because it has like the high end that I'm looking for in the layered impact. Let's hear how those sound together. Too much though. Let's bring it down just a little bit, really blend it in. I'm gonna find another riser or whoosh kind of thing to go into that. What's this bring me the swell? Let's try it. Let's bring it in. And then I'll show you guys a little fun thing that I like to do. All right, so I'm gonna fade this so it doesn't come in super hot. I'm also gonna fade the whoosh, but a cool little trick that you can do to just like layer and give it like some more character. So especially in Logic, I'm sure every other DAW kind of has this feature. I'm gonna do this little speed up option, and then let me just solo these guys really quick and I'll show you how they work together. All right, here we go. Yeah, and then if I take the speed up off, this is what it sounds like. So it's not that much different, but the speed up gives it kind of this like ramping effect. And I think it just sounds pretty cool, honestly. So we don't really have much going on as far as like production goes other than the risers and the impacts for the chorus. So let's add some like ambience or atmosphere to kind of help lift the chorus up, lift all the other elements up in the mix. Let's check out Modern Metal Volume 1. What do we got in here? What's in End of the World? All right. Let's throw End of the World in here and see what happens. All right, cool. I like how that sounds. Let's layer it though. Let's find something else to throw on top of that. Maybe something a little bit higher, kind of lift it up even more. What's in Cult? Ambience layers. What's Awakening? You know, I like that. Let's throw it in. Cool, that's sounding pretty good already. What I like about like the ambience and atmospheric stuff is it really helps to kind of fill up the frequency spectrum, really making your mix sound a lot more full. Now, I kind of want to add like maybe some sort of like synthy loop or something like that. So I think I'm gonna reach for Outputs Arcade for this one. I kind of already know the line that I might want to use. Vintage synths, especially if we're going for kind of like that Dayseeker Bad Omens vibe. And let's check out this one. Let's see what we got in here. Let's try that. I think that sounds pretty cool, honestly. And then I think we can definitely add a little bit more flavor on top of that. But let's check out maybe like a different line in here. We'll just go with Dark Angel. Kind of want something more like ear candy like. That's actually pretty cool. All right, so I'm gonna put down a couple other ideas from this and we're gonna see how it sounds. All right, so I've added a couple other textures in here. So we have this synth loop. I put it as melody thing. It's almost like a vocal choppy kind of thing. And I added a little ARP in here as well. Here's what they all sound like together. And then here's what they sound like in the mix. I think we can add just a little bit more to the chorus. I'm kind of thinking some sort of just like twinkly, like ear candy type thing, at least just for the second half, just to kind of differentiate it and give it a little bit more flavor. So let's see if we can find something for that. I think we're gonna use this one. I think we're gonna use that one from Dream State. I'm gonna put that down. We're just gonna add it to the second half and see how it sounds. All right, now we have our ear candy in here, which sounds super Dayseeker. Let's hear how it sounds in the mix. And then you know what? I honestly think the ARP is clashing a bit. So let's just take the ARP out for now and let's see how it sounds. Before we end the video, why don't we just give it a listen from the intro to the chorus with all of the production added and hear how it sounds. I think that sounds pretty great, honestly. It really, in my opinion, is capturing that kind of Dayseeker, just serious octane metalcore kind of vibe. I really like how that sounds. I really like the addition of the production to this track. Without it, to me, it feels very empty. I really think the production and the samples really help to bring out the identity of the song and the vibe that I was going for. As always, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned something. I'm personally a very big fan of using production and samples in my songs, and I really think that they help bring out the identity and vibe that I'm trying to create. And I would love to know if you guys are going to start reaching for more production and samples to experiment and enhance your own songs. And don't forget that you can pick up the post-production packs that I was using today from Modern Music Solutions in their web store. And with that, I will see you guys in the next video. Catch you later.